Welcome back to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in the 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. I'm Jeff Williams for Coaches8.com. Getting set for another pair of 3 seeds here as we've exited the pool play and make our way toward the championship rounds coming up on the weekend. It should be a good one we've got on tap for you today. We'll have Norway. They'll be wearing white with red trim and red letters. They'll be to the left of your screen. And on the right side, we've got Team Russia. Russia wearing red with the white sleeves and the white numbers. Saw Russia earlier this weekend in taking on New Zealand. New Zealand, way too much for Russia to handle. But here they are, now that we've exited pool play, with an opportunity to advance on in the tournament. A couple guys to keep an eye on for Team Russia, the Kashanskis, Will and Nick. Both players exceptional. Will, former University of Pennsylvania player, now playing for the Rochester Rattlers. And Nick Kashansky, a Golden Domer, University of Notre Dame, which makes him my favorite player as an Irish fan. About to get set here. Just a couple minutes before game time. Producer Keegan and I were commenting before the matches, the national anthems were playing, that Norway was the most on key of all the singing that we've heard of the national anthems this weekend. Norway had the best voices. We had to give them credit. We'll see if that translates into a win here today against Russia. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but interesting observation. It's kind of cool to get to see how these different teams prepare. The rituals that they do pre-game and post-game and during the game is varies from place to place from across the globe, and always interesting to see these the little nuances that these teams bring to the game. The pleasantries have been exchanged at midfield, and everybody will scatter and get set here for the opening face-off. And in the face-off, we'll have number 7 for Russia, Nicholas Riedkin. And Nicholas will be facing off against, bear with me here as I try to find a number here. I want to say that's 11, which is Jacob Palmer's. It is not Jacob Palmer. Jacob Palmer's on the side. That's number 10. It'll be Nicholas Johnson. And Nicholas comes away with it, and he'll be charging hard ahead for Team Norway as he'll now take a pause, allow the personnel changes to take place as number 66, Lars Rist, jogs on. Lars, first game that I got the opportunity to call here. Lars had a rather successful game for Team Norway. Getting the opportunity to see a couple of teams here that I have had the privilege of seeing once already. Makes things kind of nice. Wrist now around to Palmer. Palmer's tries to take a dive there on the near side, but pulls it back instead. Now this is Wrist, and he'll rip one at the net, and he'll get one past the goaltender. That's number 9, Ray Zimlin. So Wrist will have an assist. And Palmer's with the goal.
Same guys at the X. 10, red 7. No assist, no assist.
So they're going to say that was unassisted.
Same 2 at the X.
Johnson comes away with the assist, with the face-off again. This will be scooped up there on the far side by Alexander Bake. Bake will peel off, and once again, wait for those offensive changes to be made. Substitutions. Laycock will come on, as will Ronas. Nice. Number 33 out there along with number 44, Jesper Hjorth. This is Ronas, number 20. He'll send it down into the corner, and that's going to be a turnover for Ronas. Unforced error there. Russia now really their first opportunity here going on the attack. This is Nicholas Riedkin, number 7. And now we've got a pause as Russia getting instructions from the bench. That's Eugene Aripov. Eugene now tucks and runs. Looking for a window there. Can't find one. Loose in front of the net. Norway able to scoop it up. That's number 4. Nedreberg. So 1 and done on the shot there from Russia. And Norway will go back on the attack now as soon as they can clear their own zone. Goaltender Erland Hoyle, number 15, outplaying it. Now we're ahead. This is number 14, Carl Peter Leon. And now it's Palmer's on the far side. Far wing now kicks it down to number 23, Laycock. We've got a flag in the air as Laycock trying to find room. Now he gives it up. This will be Palmer's. And there's a shot ripped underneath by Leon, but there was a whistle prior to the shot. And we'll have a penalty. We'll get that sorted out for you momentarily. So that's number 17, Jacob Richards. Jacob, the 19-year-old, will do a little time here. Slashing the call on Richards. Norway playing a little catch here around the point. Looking for an avenue, and there's Rist with a rip shot. Fantastic shot there. Rist with his second shot. This one will be assisted by Thomas Laycock. So the patience there in working the ball around the point there on the perimeter pays off for Norway as they're able to rip one past Ray Zimlin. So Johnson picks up the ground ball and he'll take it across, putting on the brakes here at midfield. Looking for some help. We've got a penalty flag as well as Johnson gives it up. And substitutions are made. Good save there from Zimlin. Great shot from that coming off the stick of Laycock, but an even better save there by Ray Zimlin. So now we've got another penalty on Russia. This is Jordan Friedman for slashing. He'll do a minute. Friedman of Colgate University. In the loss to New Zealand the other day, Friedman, one of the bright stars despite the loss for Russia. Friedman, a hard charging defenseman. Norway trying to get it out of their own end. I'm sorry, Russia trying to get it out of their own end. And this one back to Zimlin. There's a dangerous pass that should have probably been played a little better than that. Now, Yefimov trying to help out. Back to Zimlin in the goal. He'll get out of the goal wisely. Being harassed back there by the defensive unit for Norway. This is 27 Karpak. Sorry, 29 Travis Karpak. He'll take it across midfield, and now Russia breathes a little easy sigh as the Friedman penalty expires and he charges back into the attacking zone. Behind the back pass here, cut Avraminko off guard a little bit. Around behind Russia, working it now on the near wing here, going back to the point. This is number 24, Eugene Arkhipov. Arkhipov looking for some help there and trying to pass it. So Arkhipov will be credited with the turnover. And now Norway with a 2-0 lead. Get the ball back here with just under 10, or under 11 minutes rather, to play in the first quarter. Can't help but notice as I glance over at the Russian bench, Nick Kashansky, the young man from University of Notre Dame, number 38, in uniform but in flip-flops. And Nick, at least in the game we saw, or I saw actually the other day, Nick, a huge part of this Russian offensive attack. So having him on the sideline certainly not helping Russia too much right now. Dmitry Hamin gets one. We're going to get a clock stoppage here after the Hamin goal. So Dmitry Hamin gets Russia on the board. We'll have a quick timeout here as the officials mindful of the heat here in Colorado this time of year. And we'll take a moment of mandatory timeout here for the athletes to get some water, stay hydrated, as well as the officials. And while they do that, we'll tell you about some of our great sponsors. Groove Toyota Subaru Mazda Ford, located in Englewood Centennial, and 24/7 at grooveauto.com. Experience the power of yes at Groove Auto. To those who hunger for real, Applebee's is the favorite neighborhood restaurant where you can come as you are to connect with those important in your life over food and beverages that you love every day. So we'll see you tomorrow for the freshest flavors this side of the neighborhood. Big thanks to Applebee's. Also Live Basil Pizza, Live Basil Pizza. A whole new way to eat pizza, custom made for you right in front of your eyes in less than 4 minutes. They've got 5 Denver locations, so check them out. As well as La Sandia, it's a Mexican eatery and tequileria by acclaimed chef Richard Sandoval, where guests can enjoy an array of authentic specialties as well as their year-round festivals that celebrate Sandoval's Mexican heritage. They're located at 8340 Northfield Boulevard, so right here near Dick's Sporting Goods Park. So stop by and check them out if you're in the area. So after the mandatory water break, which I think is a fantastic thing they do, there's a nice breeze making its way across here, the lower fields here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. That's kind of refreshing. It's been pretty hot and sticky here this morning, but a nice breeze, helpful. And everybody gonna break their huddles now and head back onto the field. 2-1. And when we last left before the timeout, Dmitry Hamid had scored for Russia, narrowing it to now 1 point match, 2-1 in favor of Norway. Heading back out onto the field for the face-off circle, the same two gentlemen that we've seen there in every face-off. Johnson for Norway and Riedkin for Russia. The officials get back to where they need to be, and now our whistle's ready for play. Johnson comes away with the face-off, charging hard, pass intended for Jesper Hjorth. Off the mark, but Norway able to corral it. A good effort there from Thomas Lisseth. He'll come jogging off to some congratulatory high fives from teammates as caller Peter Leon takes the field in his stead. Leon now stops and gives it back to wrist. Lars with a pair of goals. This is Jacob Palmer's number 11, who's been instrumental in the scoring here today on the assisting end of things. And there's a shot ripped. Nice stop there from Ray Zimlin. Zimlin has had more than a few shots fired at him today, and a couple have gotten by, but Ray's been outstanding with another good save there with the stick that time. Ray Zimlin dialed in, giving up a couple of early goals, but Ray with a handful of fantastic saves here early on as well. Ray going to come off the sidelines here. And Ray's going to have to do a little time in the sin bin. So Zimlin will come out, serve the penalty, and the goaltender Drew Zambelli will make his way into the game. And he'll be at goal until the penalty has been served. So good work there from Zimlin, though, getting in front of the ball. So we've got a turnover here from Laycock, and that turnover caused by number 28, Will Kashansky. Kashansky of the Rochester Rattlers when he's not playing for Team Russia. All right, Russia now at midfield. Looking to go on the attack here. This is Philip Lett. Philip's pass is ahead to Richards and mishandled, but Richards gathers it up. Now he'll get into the attacking zone here. And now hit the brakes as Friedman jogs on for Russia. After the penalty, Kashansky coming off on the defensive side. Friedman on the near wing, taking it down deeper into the corner, looking for some help. Going to get something going here, back in behind the crease, hopefully. As goalie changes is made as Zambelli comes out, and Zimlin jogs back in. Ball out to the point. There's a good rip there from number 24, Arkhipov. Eugene Arkhipov. Eugene plays for Moscow Lacrosse Club.
It is 20 red and 10 white. 20 red, 10 white.
So credit Eugene with the goal. And it will be Johnson for Norway again, but Philip Le for Russia. Johnson wins once again. He's been pretty dominant in that capacity today. Typically, that's exactly what you'll see. You'll see Johnson win the face-off and then a substitution, and he'll jog off. Ronas comes on and cue Johnson to come off. The face-off specialist for the Norwegians.
Shot. Norway, 22 wide.
So Caval's shot sails wide. This is number 22 firing one. It goes wide as well. So Caval, another shot. 0 for 2 on this this trip to the Russian end. On the far side, it's Kregerud. He gives it up. Now down into the near corner to. Oh, there he finally gets. Third time's a charm for Axel Kval, as that's his third shot at the goal in that trip to the attacking zone, and he finally gets it. So 3-2 now. As we'll see Johnson again head back out to the face-off circle. And he'll be joined by Russia's Nicholas Ryedkin. Ryedkin plays for Brookdale Community College when he's not playing for Team Russia. Johnson has it at midfield, and he'll look to try to make something happen here as the substitutions are coming. Alexander Bake has it. He gives it up to Jacob Palmers. And Palmers will pause for a moment, let everybody get set. Waiting for Leon to come on the field, and now Leon with it. Down to the near corner. Back to Leon in the wing. Johnson will exit, Wrist will enter for Norway. Wrist charging now to the front of the net. Now backing up a little bit, but he'll take a shot. Yeah, maybe not. Look, he was winding up for one there. Keep an eye on number 66 there at the point. If the ball gets back there, you can be certain he'll rip one at Zimlin. So turnover, Ryedkin for the Russians getting his stick in the way and causing that one. Karpak, number 29, has it, and now it's turned over at midfield. It's Carl Peter Leon, number 14, come charging back for Norway. Across midfield. As the Russian defense is retreating. Now they'll get started here. Being harassed is number 18. That's Brane Winsness Volig. I just completely destroyed that young man's name. Let me try that again. Kvulvlog. I believe I got close there. Pirane. I'll just call him that. How about that? Back to the face-off, the usual suspects. Johnson and Le. And Le with the infraction there, and Norway will take it. And this will be Johnson who will do what he does. Give it up and get off the field. This is Nisi heading to midfield there with the ball in the basket as the rest of the substitutions are made. This ball on the far side going now, ducking behind the crease. So trying to find somebody cutting and nobody there, so he peels back. This is number 11, Palmers. Now it's 18 with it at Kvalvog. being harassed there, having it poked away by Kashansky.
Turnover, 18 Norway, caused by 28 Russia.
So Will Kashansky causing the turnover there, getting things done, helping out on the defensive end.
Turnover, 9 Russia, caused by 33.
Ooh, another great save there from Zimlin
Norway,
off the shot of
ground ball, 1 Russia.
Nice. And here comes Russia. This is number 1. This is Dmitry Kavin. And he gives it up to Friedman. Friedman fires one wide of the net. That's going to go out of bounds. And that's going to do it for quarter number 1. So we'll step aside and be back with second quarter action. With Russia trailing Norway 4-2. Jeff Williams here with CoachesAid.com, bringing you live action. The FIL World Lacrosse Championships getting set here for quarter number 2 action. This matchup of 3 seeds, Norway in white, Russia in red. So far, pretty hotly contested match, 4-2 in favor of Norway. Just to recap for you, Kvalvåg with the goal, and Kval with a goal, and Rist with a pair of goals for Norway. And it's Hamin and Arkhipov with the goals for Russia. In the match going on in field third quarter action directly behind us, France is trailing Slovakia 13-2. So the Slovaks handling the French in that matchup. Russia with it now, trying to get it out of their own end. This is number 29 charging, Karpak. Karpak loses it. Some good stick work there for the defenseman. That's Schroeder. So Henrik helping out the cause as he's trying to scoop that one ahead. And now, nice work there with the stick. Number 23, Laycock gets it ahead. And Kval is able to take it. Now we've got a whistle. And a timeout for Norway. While we've got this timeout here, Jackson's is a Denver tradition for all those who visit the Mile High City. Visitors from across the country return to Jackson's year after year to indulge in Colorado's most celebrated entertainment venue. And don't forget, folks, get some wings when you visit Jackson. Stop by the location at 7939 East Arapahoe Road in Greenwood Village. Big thanks to Jackson's. They've been with us for the last, it's been a while. They've been with us for a number of events. We greatly appreciate their support. Getting set here to get back to action here in the second quarter. Less than a minute has expired. About 42 seconds had expired before Norway wanted to take a moment to chat. And the timeout may have had a lot to do with the Norwegian defender. May have got hit with a stick. Give him just a moment to kind of gather himself. It's number 23. He's on the bench now. Thomas Laycock trying to catch his breath, holding on to like the right midsection there. Maybe a rib injury that he's maybe nursing. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Back on the attack now. Here's Norway. Jacob Palmer's number 11. Finds wrist. Wrist is, I thought about ripping one at the net, but held off. Behind the net it goes. And good work there. Good work there from Kowalvug. And there's one ripped by Palmers. So Palmers with the 5th goal for Team Norway. And we'll give Kowalvug credit for the assist. So (5-2) in favor of Norway. And Johnson and Le will face off. Yeah, we've got a whistle now. Le will be charged with the infraction, and Norway will take over here. Nice work there from Friedman trying to so readily charged with the hold on Russia, and Norway will take it. On the far side to Hjorth, who will take it down on the right wing. Behind the crease now. At the point, that's number 3. Bake. Big shot. Gets past Zimlin. So Zimlin had been on point and relatively dialed in the first half. And now Norway finding a way to get some by him. 6-2 now. Now it'll be Ryedkin joining Johnson at the faceoff. Russia comes away with this one. Ryedkin, a rare face-off win for Russia, as Johnson has been on top of it for Norway. Ooh, that one nearly gets away. Thank goodness for the long pole, right? Jacob Richards corrals that one. Collision there, guys, on the ground. And we'll have a whistle. What is the call? So it's a loose ball push on Norway. Russia will have it. And now you see these Norwegian defense going to tighten up, make it difficult for Russia to get it out of their own end, but good work there. Yefimov getting it out for Russia. And Ryedkin on the far side gets it into the attacking zone, and he'll kick it down low. Now back behind. That's number 2, Zachary Cowan. Cowan dancing, looking for daylight, being harassed all the way by Nederberg. Cowan can't find any light as Nederberg is his shadow now. Not giving him an inch. Good work by the defenseman. So Russia will kick it back out and try to regroup and rethink this attack. Friedman on the near wing. Being harassed by Sars. Able to get a Friedman, able to shake Sars momentarily, but the shot goes wide. And Russia with it, a big hit there from Cowan, and then a bit of a disrespectful step over there. Little gamesmanship going on. That's number 79, Magnus Haynes, the Norwegian defenseman. He's got himself picked back up now. Hole, the goalie's got it out here. And now Sars with it. Sars gets it ahead to Ronas. So nice work there from Norway to get that one cleared out. And here comes the work behind the net now by Hjorth. Hjorth loses it momentarily, then loses it again, but able to gather it up both times now. And Hjorth very determined to get a shot off and does, but good save there from Zimlin. So Russia now charging back. And nice work there. Good hustle from Yefimov. Aripov with it now. No, that was Dmitry Kamin who has a goal. His shot goes wide left. Not much Hull had to do on that one, was off the mark. See the Canadian team making their way into the facilities here on the far right side there, the south end of the field. We've got a whistle. Canada getting set to take on Japan. Coming up at 2 o'clock. The blue pool, of course, I think most folks around here have resigned themselves to the idea that the champion of this World Championship is going to come out of that blue pool. I don't think there's any, it'll be hard pressed to find anybody to argue that point. Nonetheless, there's some great lacrosse action in the meantime. Russia 6-2. Oh, I'm trailing 6-2 rather. 4-goal deficit. About 11:45 or so to replay here in the first half. His wrist corrals a pass that was well off the mark. Nice work from him. And there's a shot from number 11, Jacob Palmer's second goal of the contest. 5-goal deficit now for Russia. You can't help but think Russia being hamstrung a little bit by the fact that one of their better offensive players, Nick Kashansky, is in uniform but not playing. No helmet. He's got the flip-flops on. That certainly got to be hurting Russia's offense, what they'd like to do offensively. Mandatory water timeout here. And while we do that, let's tell you about Gyros. It's your destination for classic Greek food. With the fast and friendly service, you'll find a little piece of Greece right here in Denver. So stop in today, check out their great menu. They're located at 13698 East Iliff in Aurora, Colorado. Also, CPR. Cracked your phone, dropped your Droid, sat on your iPad, don't worry, they can fix it. They also sell quality used and refurbished cell phones, all available without any contract extensions or long-term commitments. CPR is your one-stop shop for all your cell phone and electronic needs. So stop in and see them today at 1531 Stout Street in Denver. Give them a call, 720-508-8463. Big thanks to all our sponsors for all that they do, helping us do what we do. Greatly appreciated. This is the final game here that'll be played on field number 4 today. So I'll get a little bit of a break the rest of the afternoon, just get to be a spectator and enjoy the rest of the lacrosse action here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Looking forward to that. The officials are wanting to, they're working under the notion that the mandatory hydration timeouts need to take place, but it is a bit cooler here with this breeze than we've experienced the last few days. So they're wanting clarification to see if they need to continue doing that. Under 11 and a half to go. The violation at the face-off by Russia, and Norway will take over here with a 5-goal lead and go on the offensive. Back out front, this is Johnson, who we typically see jogging off after a face-off, still on the field. Now he'll make his way to the sideline as Ronas has it. On the far side, I can't catch a number there. That's number 8, SARS. SARS dancing in behind the net. Check that, that's 18, my mistake. Kvalvog, who has a goal and an assist today. That one hits in front, bounces high over the net. That's big. And official on the spot there. He'll make a call. That's going to be Russia's ball, as Norway was not the closest. And this is number 32 in net now. We saw him earlier during the penalty on Zimlin, but now Zambelli in the net for Russia. And it's going to be Russia's ball here going forward. Kashansky. And now Arkhipov. Arkhipov looking for a window here as he stares down Nice, and Nice sending him back. Now he's holding his shoulder, trying to gather himself here. Tough kid, gonna go after it again, trying to post him up. Great pass, and a fantastic save there from Hoel. Friedman ended up with a really good look on a great pass, but Norwegian goaltender right there to deny it. Arkhipov thought about firing one from the point out there, but thought better of it. This is Kashansky. Will Kashansky getting some instruction from the Russian sideline. 8:39 to play here in the first half. Friedman at the point. Spins around, fires one. That one bounces in front and high out of play, and Norway will take it. Wind picking up and changing directions on a regular basis here at field number 4, Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Again, this is live action of the 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships, day 4. What's been a great deal of fun and some fantastic competition that we've had the opportunity to see here. And this one, quick point out here, Zimlin, Ray Zimlin, who was in goal for Russia, now with a midfielder stick in his hand. And so there's another switch that they've made. Zimlin no longer in goal and no longer with the goalie stick. He's out here playing at midfield for Russia. And here goes Zimlin on the attack. And great effort there. It was stopped by one of the ricochet anyway by one of the Norwegian defenders. And Hoylman had a pretty easy job corralling the rebound. So we could get credit for the save. So Zimlin for Russia, jack of all trades. How about that? Now Norway goes on the attack. Palmers kicks it down to number 22, Kaval, and Kaval scores. So Palmers with an assist to go along with a pair of goals, and now Kaval with a pair of goals. And Russia takes a 6-goal lead with just over 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Johnson and Le facing off once again. And Johnson comes away with it, being harassed by Friedman rather vigorously. But Johnson maintains possession for Norway. That's why you have a face-off specialist, right? In behind. And that's number 18, Kvalvåg. So Kvalvåg with his second assist, and Thomas Laycock with, Kvalvåg with his second goal, and Thomas Laycock with his second assist on the match. 9-2 in favor of the Norwegians. Less than 5 to play in the first half. Johnson and Le again will face it off. A lot of wind coming, but fortunately not a whole lot of dark skies around at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, which has been a huge issue. If you've been following these games, you know weather's been a major factor here. Getting games played and started and finished on time. Norway with it after another face-off win. Kvalvåg behind the goal. Now out top. On the near wing, now behind the crease, goes SARS. Low underhanded shot there was 23. Thomas Laycock, after a pair of assists, Thomas gets a goal. And Kvalvåg with a pair of goals, and now a pair of assists. So Norway really here late in the second quarter starting to pour it on and open this game up a little bit. Russia went to the change in net. Zimlin now at midfield, and Zambelli in net. Zambelli not having a great afternoon, as there's one fired at the net by number 12, Laceth. Russia coming back with it now, and I gotta think we're gonna have a flag after the legs got tangled up there and body's going down. So we'll have a Jacob Palmers will do the time here for pushing. He'll do a minute, or 30 seconds rather. 30-second penalty. So Russia here needs to take advantage of the man-up opportunity here the running clock. A 30-second penalty doesn't take long to run off. And it's Kashansky getting it back, and it's mishandled there and taken away by number 32, Stefan Beck. And Beck charging down, looking like he wants to make a great pass. And a shot from wrist is saved by Zambelli, and now Zambelli pulling up a little bit lame. That one may have got him in the midsection. A save made by Zambelli nonetheless, but he may have paid for it.
I think there is, yeah. Shot, 23 Norway. Deflected early, no save. Yeah, 32 is in goal for Russia. When did he go? I don't know, I just noticed it. So probably recently. I want to tell you when he goes, they won't be
Substitutions being made. In Norway, still on the attack inside of a minute and a half to play in the first half. Ripping one from the point that goes wide and left. That one from Palmers, who just exited the penalty box. What do you call it, a box? It's really not a box in lacrosse. Just a couple of chairs there. The timeout chair, maybe? We call it that. And there, Zambelli gets beat again.
14 from 11.
So Carl Peter Leon gets the goal, courtesy of the Jacob Palmer's assist. Leon gets in the scoring column, and Palmer's adds an assist to his impressive total here in the first half with 2 goals and 2 assists.
Seven red, 10 white is the X. Face-off,
Norway wins the faceoff. That's number 12, Laceth, who's charging it into the zone, and then he'll peel off after giving it up. Great pass there from number 18. That goes from Kvalvog, gets another assist to Kval. So 3 assists for Kvalvog and 3 goals for Kval. So Norway now takes a 10-goal lead. Getting some clarification here. Yeah, 12-2 is the score. We'll step aside here for halftime. We'll be back, though. Don't go anywhere. We'll see if Russia can get back in this in the second half. Jeff Williams will be back here with you on coachesaid.com. Don't go anywhere.
Is it possible Applebee's new entrees are full of flavor and under 550 calories each?
I'll believe it when I taste it. I believe it!
I can dig it! Okay, a bit of an overreaction, but what now? The old great taste under 550 calories flash mob bit. Yeesh. The new Zesty Roma chicken and shrimp and roasted garlic sirloin. Big flavor under 550 calories. Starting at just $9.99. See you tomorrow. And late night for half-price apps.
Welcome back here to field number 4, Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Jeff Wiggins for CoachesA.com with some second half action here. This matchup between a pair of 3 seeds in the 2014 World Lacrosse Championships. All Russia, 12-2 here as we get the third quarter underway. Just like we started the first half, we'll start the second half with Johnson and Riet getting set to face off here. Recap, Jacob Palmers for Norway, pair of goals and a pair of assists. Axel Kaval has 3 goals, has the hat trick for Norway. Laycock with a goal and a pair of assists in a game that's Lars Rist also with a pair of goals. Been all Norway. Russia struggling mightily with one of their best offensive weapons on the bench in the form of Nick Kashansky. Norway with it now. Ripped by wrist, and that one bounced in front, steered wide. Norway back on the attack. Will Kashansky getting a little overzealous. That stick is one of those shots landed on the head of Leon, who Leon has a goal today. So the older Kashansky will come to the penalty box. He'll do a minute, and he'll not argue about it. Again, Will Kashansky, while not playing for Team Russia, spends his time with the Rochester Rattlers. And younger brother Nick, not playing here, spends his spare time playing and training with the University of Notre Dame lacrosse squad. Wrist rips one. Good job there as Zambelli got a little bit of stick on it and steered it to the far side. Over to wrist again. He winds up, tries to beat Zambelli, but off the mark with that one. Kashansky penalty has expired, so back to even strength. Good job from Russia there, shorthanded. A couple of good saves in the net there from Zambelli. Again, a 10-point margin, 10-goal margin that is in front of Team Russia if they're going to get back into this one. On the far side, streaking down the field, that's Friedman. Friedman's pass misjudged that one, it looked like. That's number 2, Dmitry Hamin. And Hamin's pass, Hamin able to corral it. But we do have a turnover. As Russia turned it over, then Norway immediately returns the favor. You hear that wind whistling through our microphone there. Wind beginning to pick up. There are some darker skies off to the north and west of Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Hopefully they'll stay at bay, and it doesn't look like they're terribly dark. We've seen dark clouds here the last few days, and these look a lot friendlier than what we've typically come to see around here. So here's nice work there defensively. Wow. Is Karpak trying to check that. That's our keep off, number 24. His shot is saved, and we've got a new goalie to tell you about here for Norway, as it's number 93, Hein Hoffend. So an outstanding first half from Erland Hole, and sure if there's a reason for the goalie change, or if they're just trying to give this youngster Hoffend, just give him a look here against a Russian team that, well, they've been struggling so far. And Hole on the sidelines with the bucket hat on. It looks like his day is done, and he's not limping or anything of that nature. So perhaps just giving the youngster an opportunity here at international play. Friedman out front here at midfield for Russia, directing traffic. Trying to get everybody going in the right direction. Ray Zimlin being hollered at by his team to come off. Didn't quite hear everybody. But Ray started the game at goalie. Comes our keep off. He kicks it over to Friedman. Friedman now on the charge. And he's turned away. Thomas Lisseth right with him, step for step. Back to our keep off at the point. Keep off ducks under one of the Norwegian defenders, but so that's number 79, Magnus Haynes, who had the opportunity there to corral it, but he couldn't get it corralled inbound, so possession will remain Russia here in the near corner. Now back to the point. Here's our keep off. He'll take a moment to catch his breath and let everybody get set before he takes off. Alec Tilley, number 11 for Russia, who went charging hard in there into the teeth of that Norwegian defense. Friedman with it now behind the crease, trying to direct traffic from there. Friedman tried to flip one underhanded there in front of the net, but no luck, as they did have Hovland. Norwegian netminder was out of the net. This is Zachary Cowan, number 2, giving it up to Khamin. Now Arkhipov, the near point. So work his way back to the middle of the field. Now he'll just try to charge, but once again, just great work there. Now we'll get a penalty. He's a little bit overzealous there with the stick, was Lars Amelam. So Lars will come over and have a seat in front of us, catch his breath. So there'll be a 30 seconds rest for Lars. So Russia with it. Kashansky down to Friedman, and behind to number 11, Alec Tilley. There's a shot by Tilley that goes wide. Got a play on the backside there as the penalty expires. We'll have Kregerud, number 40, entering the game. as the penalty expires. And try to get a final score from you in the matchup between France and Slovakia. We'll get a final score there and pass that along to you. As Norway now on the offensive. So France falls to Slovakia 17-6 in a matchup of another pair of 3 seeds on the adjacent field here. And in front of us, we're going to have another game getting underway here shortly. Sweden. Bear with me, I'm trying to see the flag of this the team in front of us here. I'm not able to see it yet, but Russia now on the attack. Russia clears it out of their own end. Back to the point. This is, Dimitri trying to make something happen. Dimitri does have an assist on the day, but I'm sure he'd like to add to those totals. Good save there. Hovland. Hein Hovland, the youngster, young goaltender for Norway, being tested here. There's a nice adjustment there from number 44, Jesper Hjorth. Pass was behind him. He did a good athletic move there of getting that in his basket. Great underhanded pass there. This one on the ground, finally scooped up awkwardly by Zambelli. Russia will now go about the task of trying to clear this one. Friedman has it in the near corner, looking for some help. And Friedman will just tuck and run, take it himself, and he's going to get it across midfield all by his lonesome. So Alec Tilley, Philip Le loses it now, and it's scooped up by number 42, Abramson. And Abramson back the other way for Norway. Number 55, Henrik Schroeder at the point for Norway. He flips it to wrist, and he'll jog off. And substitutions for Norway as they now go on the attack. Wrist will flip it down to Leon. Check that was not Leon. At any rate, that's Leon, number 14. He'll give it back to Wrist. Wrist stalking the perimeter there. Just under 7.5 to play here in the third. Here's Leon stumbling, but manages to keep his shoulders over his toes and maintain the upright position. But his shot, like it was deflected off a Russian stick and goes wide. Sweden. This is Tilley. I'll check that. That is not Tilley. That is Jacob Palmers. There's a big jump shot there from Jesper Hjorth that is saved by Zambelli. We'll have a timeout here for hydration purposes, and while they do that, we'll tell you about the Soybu difference. Check it out. Active fashion designed for your life. Their line is designed for all shapes and sizes because life is a workout. So check out Soybu at www.soybu.com. Wow Events Denver assists nonprofits in bringing the wow factor to every event. They can help you reach your fundraising goals and make it a spectacular event, leaving a lasting impression on donors attending your event. So check out all the services they have to offer at www.woweventsdenver.com. Big thanks to all our sponsors. Viasat, Groove Automotive Dealers, Groove, Toyota, Subaru, Mazda, Ford, Applebee's, Live Basil, La Sandia, Mexican restaurant, Jackson's, Gyros, CPR. Fantastic job helping us do what we do. We couldn't do it without them. So Russia able to, at least thus far here in the third, slow down the Norwegian attack that was really picking up some steam there early in the first half, and been able to slow it down a little bit. Still, real issue for Russia at this point is there's just been no offense whatsoever. Just a pair of goals have been scored thus far, and then just the opportunities that have been created by them offensively just been few and far between. And I don't know if you credit that to an outstanding Norwegian defense. I think you have to give them a little bit of credit for that at the very least. Maybe more than a little bit. But having Kashansky not in the game for Russia certainly doesn't help. So a number of factors here, but either way you slice it, Russia's offensive attack has been very stagnant and ineffective today. After everybody's been watered, we're going to get back underway here with 6:32 to play in the third quarter. Norway with it now. Norway will work it around the perimeter, being patient. They're not in a hurry. 10-point lead. They don't need to be in a hurry. And there's a shot that ended up from Hjorth that ended up getting slammed straight into the ground. Friedman with it now streaking down the field. Good work with the stick there by Friedman to miss the hack coming from wrist, trying to knock that one away. Russia. A long ways to go and not a lot of time to get there. So Russia, I'm not sure what the thinking is here. Just felt the raindrop. We will play it through the rain. It's when the electricity gets in the air that they'll shut us down. But if it's a little bit of rain, well, we'll be all right. So Zachary Cowan shot sails wide for Russia. That's Alexander Zarubin, number 42 in for Russia. First time we've called his name today. And there's another substitution in goal for Russia as Zambelli will exit. And Alexei Chernyshov will enter. Alexei wearing number 0. We saw him briefly at the end of the game with New Zealand the other day. A game that Russia would certainly like to have back. Kiwis were pretty tough. Very entertaining. Enjoyed watching them. There's a shot that finally gets past Hovland. Hovland had been pretty dialed in there, but there's one that looks like it got the stick of Hovland. But Dmitry Hamin gets a goal to go along with his assist. Now 9 points, 9 goals are what stand between Russia and victory. And running out of time here in the third as we're inside of 4 minutes to play the third quarter. And it'll be Johnson and Riedkin facing things off here. Been a while since we had a face-off. Starting to sprinkle a bit now, but hopefully won't amount to a whole lot. Riedkin wins the face-off. So maybe a little changing of the tide here as Russia gets a goal, maybe get a little confidence and start to grab some of this momentum. Riedkin at the point. He'll give it to Zimlin. Again, Zimlin started the game in goal. Russia now on their third goaltender of the game. Started with Zimlin, then it was Zambelli. Now it's Chernyshov. pass there. Friedman with it. Couldn't capitalize. We've got a whistle. So I was going to say Friedman was in the crease, so he won't get credit for the shot. Norway will have it.
Norway clear is good.
Now behind the crease, and they'll whip it around. Norway just kind of playing catch, looking for something to open up. They'll send it around counterclockwise again. There's a shot. Charnyshov handles it. Back the other way we go. Minute 40 to play in the third. Not a whole lot of scoring here in the third, both teams. As there's an underhanded shot there from Hameen. Fortunately for Hovland, that one sailed wide. Hameen had a good angle there, just couldn't find inside the net. Arhipov. Now Zemlin. Back to Arhipov. Arhipov charging now, throws a shot, but it was wide right, really not on goal. You say that about the majority of the shots thrown in by Russia today, is so many of them have just not even been on goal. It's really have made life easy for Norwegian goaltenders. They haven't had to make a lot of saves. Hameen trying to find an angle, but Sars is right with him. Sars for Norway. Good instincts as a defenseman. Good shot there, it was saved. Couldn't corral it, and then another shot goes, and Hovland gets another save. So as soon as I said Russia's not putting shots on goal, they fire a pair of them at Hovland to make him earn his keep today. Another match getting set to take place next to us. Uganda and Korea. I had the opportunity to do a Ugandan game recently, as we've got a timeout on the field there. And I checked that at the end of the third quarter. Had the opportunity to do a Uganda game, and they're a relatively new team, a young team. They haven't been in existence too long, and they're a lot of fun to watch. A team that's just very, very excited to be a part of the FIL World Lacrosse Championships. You can tell that even in defeat the other day, they were celebrating as they were able to score their first goals in international play. So even though they didn't get the W, still found a reason to celebrate and cheer. And they've got a very faithful group of folks who have followed them here to cheer them on. And they've not disappointed the crowd as they bring out the drums, and they have a lot of fun before and after the match. I'll have the opportunity on this one finishes to watch a little bit of that one, and I think I'll do that. So Norway, the 9-goal lead over Russia. We get set here for the fourth and final quarter. There's some gray clouds around, but again, they're not the dark clouds that we've been seeing, so I'd rather see the gray ones than the dark ones. Dark ones have been pretty ugly. You look at it's really quite remarkable. You got to give a lot of credit to the folks who are keeping track and taking care of the grounds here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, because we've had a lot of moisture, and these fields, you don't see guys out here slipping and sliding and falling all over the place. So they've done a really good job of keeping these fields up. Typically, you see that kind of moisture, you typically will see field conditions deteriorate, and we've not seen that. So kudos to the folks taking care of that. Again, 38 nations come together here for these World Lacrosse Championships. The largest gathering ever. And they're hoping that the next time this comes around in 2018 in Manchester, England, that number grows even more. A big shot there from Kashansky. Kashansky goes off the stick of Hovland, and he gets some hoots and hollers from his teammates on the bench for coming up with a big save. Kashansky at the point again. He finds Arkhipov, and a big shot there as the goalie comes out to get a little physical. Going to have a penalty expiring on Magnus Haynes. Magnus had the opportunity to sit in the naughty chair a couple of times today. Russia turns it over. That's Alec Tilley who turns it over, number 11. Norway will try to clear it. Stefan back. 32. This is 11. Jacob Palmer's. Palmer's getting brutalized by Kashansky. Withstood the first couple of shots, but the persistent Will Kashansky finally does get the ball poked away, and he watches in disbelief as the pass goes out of bounds to Tilley, and turnover city once again. This is number 66, Lars Rist. Lars has a pair of goals today for Norway. I still say the Norwegian coaching staff gets the gold medal for coolest shorts. I like them. The red, white, and blue shorts with the zigzag pattern. I don't know if there's a fashion gold medal at these games, but there should be. Another score from Norway. That's Stefan back. And Kvalvåg adds another assist to his total. That's 4 for him. Kvalvåg making a case for player of the game with a pair of goals and 4 assists for Norway. And it's been a while since Norway scored a goal, so now back to a 10-goal margin. Norway with it off the face-off. And a flag on the ground, another penalty coming. We'll have the whistle here and we'll get it sorted out. Pair of guys sitting in the timeout chairs for Russia. Perhaps some frustrations begin to get high. We got a Norwegian player who's going to come charging off the field limping here. That's Carl Peter Lien, favoring that right leg a little bit. Right knee already having a brace on it, so perhaps it's now he's holding the calf. So hopefully he's all right. No sense pushing it in a game that you're winning handily. This is Jacob Richards for Russia, waiting for the penalty to expire so they get back to full strength and get the substitutions that they need. there's Richards with the unassisted goal. So Jacob Richards. The 19-year-old Jacob Richards gets a goal for Russia and back to a 9-point lead. Jacob Richards, Northfield, Mount Herman, Massachusetts, where he hails from, the school he played for.
Face off on Norway. Ground ball. 10. Or Norway, number 10. There was a push. So it's a turnover by her push on Norway. No. Does not get a ground ball on that website down.
Russia trying to climb back in this one. Got 14 minutes to do it and 9 goals to score. Here comes Richards on the attack. He flips another one and he beats him again. Once again, it's Richards unassisted. Pair of goals for Jacob Richards. We've got a timeout here, as Norway would like to have a chat. They don't want to do anything to allow Russia to get back in this. A nice lead for Norway, but not nice enough that you can afford to see a team score 4 or 5 on you before you start getting a little nervous. So 13-5 now in favor of Norway. Perhaps the young goaltender just needs a word of encouragement or two from the coach. So Jacob Richards with a pair of back-to-back goals here for Russia. Finally starting to maybe see a little signs of life from an offense that had just been non-existent for most of this game. For one reason or another, I think it's a combination of good defense from Norway and not having one of their better offensive players at their disposal today. Norway trying to inspire themselves to see if they can't thwart this surge that Russia is trying to come with. As I do the hokey pokey and turn myself around here as I get tangled up in the cords and cables. To the face-off we'll go. This will be Le and Johnson. Johnson pretty quick when he rolls those hands over and gets his stick on top of the ball. Once again, Johnson wins the face-off for Norway. Slapped away by Richards, but Johnson able to corral it. Now I have it poked away as Richards is persistent with that long stick. Jacob Richards hell-bent on trying to get Russia right back in this by himself, I guess, if need be. Aripov at the point. He takes a dive. It takes a shot. And a big save there by the young Norwegian goaltender, Hovland. And now we go back on the attack. This is Jacob Palmer's. They misplayed, a little overplayed it there with the number 40 for Russia, and Nikolai Yefimov. I said yeah. I'm learning to pronounce things I've never pronounced before. I wish I could stop kicking the camera. I apologize if you're seeing that. So, it was a loose ball and was whistled dead. And we're going to have a face-off down in the far corner, and it's going to be yeah for Russia. And Jacob Palmer's for Norway. And Palmer's looks like he had the early advantage there as it's flipped back toward midfield, and running it down is Leon. It's just a beautiful day here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. As Jacob Richards at the point again. Didn't see much of Jacob early in this game, but since he's come in here late, there's another goal. He's inspired this Russian offense. And there is Dmitry Khamin with his second goal. All got started by great hustle. Check that. That is not Khamin. That is Cowan. My mistake. Cowan with the goal. Zachary Cowan, 20-year-old. How about that? 20-year-old Zachary Cowan. Kent Denver Lacrosse. How about that? The young man grew up here in the area, gets a goal. The World Championships in his hometown. Norway with it now. Now just a 7-point lead. I kind of thought that the way Russia had been playing, that 9-10 goal lead was just going to be insurmountable, but they've been able to cut into that considerably here. Will they have enough time to keep doing it as we're just approaching the midway point here in the fourth quarter? Norway working it around. Got to feel that they've got to feel a little bit more urgent. They can't. They're not in a situation where Norway can really afford to eat too much clock. They want to continue to score. If they don't, could leave that window cracked for Russia to climb in and steal one here. Good hustle there. That's Artur Wenzel. The other youngsters on this Russian squad, just 19 years old. So a good save there, as the shot from Hjorth gets turned away. And we'll have a timeout. Russia's going to take a minute, talk things over. We'll do the same. We'll take a quick break and be back with more lacrosse action from field number 4, Dick's Sporting Goods Park, right after this. out of the timeout now. Inside of 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter here. Matchup between Norway and Russia. Norway has been rather dominant. Well, mostly dominant until about the last, last quarter or so, where we've seen the last 15 minutes or so, we've seen Russia come charging back under the leadership of a bit of a youngster. Jacob Richards has really been leading that charge, the 19-year-old out of Connecticut, leading Team Russia, willing them back into this one. Alec Tilley gives it up to Arkhipov. Arkhipov gives it back, and now this is number 1, Dmitry Hamin. Dmitry of the Moscow Lacrosse Club, as the majority of these Russian players play for the Moscow Lacrosse Club more than any other club. So Hamin's going to do some time for a hold, 30 seconds. Nice with it, number 33 in midfield for Norway. He'll get things going. And now the Norwegians go on the attack. 7:40 to play. Here's Rist. He gives it down low, gets it back. He'll fire one at the end, score, as Rist adds the hat trick to his total here today. 3 goals for Lars Rist, as he's able to beat Alexei Cherneyev. So back to a 8-point lead here, as Johnson and Ryedkin get set to face off once again. Johnson able to force Ryedkin off the ball and scoop it up, and they're going to say Johnson was pushing. So they'll give it face off to Ryedkin. Zachary Cowan, Kent Denver product, number 2 back behind the net for Russia. There, the pass from Tilley mishandled a little bit there by Ryedkin, but he's able to handle it. Inside of 6 to play now. Russia needs to get moving, as that pass telegraphed a little bit, and Magnus Haynes able to get his stick in front of it. Break it up, and now it's on the ground in the far corner. We got a whistle and a holding call on Haynes, so Russia will have it. This is Cowan in behind the goal for Russia. Richards, number 17 for Russia, with it now. Young man who's really kind of inspired a Russian resurgence here, but he has it poked away and stolen away by Henrik Schroeder with a great defensive effort. Norway wants a timeout to have a chat. We'll do the side. We'll step aside and be back with more fourth quarter action between Norway and Russia right after this. Back to action now after the timeout. Norway wanted to have a chat. They've done that. And we'll get back to action now. 5 minutes, 4 seconds left to go here in this match between Russia and Norway. Russia trying to mount a late surge here to see if they can't get back in this game, trailing 8 goals now. It looked like they might be able to pull it off, but Norway able to close the door a little bit. We have a running clock here in the FIL World Lacrosse Championships, with the only exception being the final 3 minutes of each match. So there's a big shot from wrist, but a great save by Chernyshov. And this one misplayed a bit, and a turnover as Russia unable to clear. It's number 33, Alexei Suhanov. Suhanov, another one of the, oh, check that. I was thinking he was one of the younger players on this squad, but he is not. So Norway continues to fire away with the 8-goal lead here late. Good shot there. Saves being to mount up for Charnett. There's another one. That one went off of somebody. That one may have left a mark. As Jacob Palmer's really wound up on that one. Approaching that 3-minute mark where the clock will stop at every whistle. 32 seconds away. So Russia unable to clear here, and you can't help but think if Norway's continued to allow to just fire shots at the net, that sooner or later one's going to go in. Norway also at this point with an 8-goal lead may be looking to work a little clock as that one gets away, and we'll have a turnover. Russia will get it back and have the opportunity to go on the offensive here. Substitutions being made. Friedman going to get things going for Russia on the far side at midfield. Friedman able to slip the Norwegian defense, and we've got a whistle and a clock stoppage as the Russians would like to have a timeout. (14-6). 2 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in this matchup. Russia, again, difficult task of trying to score 8 goals in 2 minutes and 52 seconds is what's ahead of them. We'll see if they can manage to pull it off. Korea and Uganda getting set to get underway before too long on the adjacent field. I'll be on the call for that one, provided I get some food. You know, I'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm making a plea here. I think it's falling on deaf ears, if I'm not mistaken. Uganda and Korea. Uganda, I had the opportunity to watch do a game of theirs earlier this past weekend, and they are a great deal of fun to watch. I look forward to seeing them play again. We've got to finish this one first, though. 2:52 to play. Russia will have it when we resume play. Russia took the timeout. Arkhipov. Rayedkin. Rayedkin looking for a window, finds nothing. He'll give it back to Arkhipov. Arkhipov finds a little bit of room there, but it's quickly shut down. Great defensive effort there from Thomas Laseth for Norway. Cutting off the attacker. This one goes out of bounds behind the net, and it will remain with Russia. It looked like it was kind of close there. Ken Denver's very own Zachary Cowan with it, number 2 for Russia. Dmitry Kamin. Back to Arkhipov at the point. And he fires one, bounces in front, save by Hoffend. As that one took maybe a bit of an awkward bounce, but Hoffend able to get that big basket in front of it and knock it down. And we've got a stoppage of clock with the whistle now on the far side of the field. And we'll have the ball will change hands here as Norway will have it back with 1:33 to play as the clock winds once again. And Norway could now, at this point, feel pretty confident that all they really need to do is protect the ball and work the clock. And this one will be over, and they'll come away with the victory. That's being harassed back there. That's number 33 for Russia, Alexei Shukhanov. Russia with it now, able to get it back, mishandled. The story of what's gone wrong for Russia today as Norway snags it back. This is number 44, Schroeder, and he fires one. Check that is Hjorth, not Schroeder. Jesper Hjorth. Russia back with it now. Tossed ahead to midfield, intercepted there by Nice. And a shot there. Substitutions for Russia. Philip Lay comes in. There's a goal from Russia and some exuberation on their sidelines. I'm not sure why such excitement, but it was number 42 scoring the goal, Alexander Zarubin, 29-year-old defenseman, also of the Moscow Lacrosse team. So, Zarubin with the goal, and Alec Tilley with the assist. Russia now trailing 7 goals with 4 seconds to go. So as soon as this one goes, we're going to have a final. As you hear the national anthems of the Uganda-Korea game getting underway behind me. Face-off was won by Norway, and that's going to do it. That will be the game. Hard-fought game. Norway dominating the first half. Russia trying to battle back in the second. Comes up a little bit short, but great action here. 14-7, the final score. Norway will move on. That's going to do it here from field number 4 for today. We'll be back here at field number 4 tomorrow. I'll be stepping aside to go hang out at field number 2 for Korea, Uganda. If you're not doing anything, come see us. Jeff Williams for CoachesAid.com. Enjoy your evening, folks.